Honda made some of the best gas lawnmowers ever built, but they officially stopped making them here in the US. If you're planning on buying a Honda HRX or HRN, you're out of luck. In this video, I'm gonna show you the best gas-powered alternatives that you can still buy today. Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB. Honda stopped producing gas lawnmowers back in September of 2023, and since then, they've just been selling off any remaining stock. And the Honda HRX and HRN models that we've come to know so well are being phased out for some wildly expensive battery mowers. So many subscribers have asked me, I need a new mower, Honda is out, so what should I buy? And that question doesn't come with an easy answer. To help us in this search, we need to understand what made Honda mowers so good. First, they're reliable engines. Along with easy starting, Honda made mower engines that would just last. Towards the end, they did have some issues with their camshafts, but compared to everything else out there, they were really at the top of the leaderboard. And help get this video to the top of the leaderboard, would you mind hitting that like button? Thank you. Second, their decks. Honda made some pretty solid steel decks that didn't rot out like other brands. And their Nexite decks brought some features to the mower market that not many other brands could compete with. Like the Versa mode that allowed you to adjust how much you mulched or bagged. Pretty cool. That leads us to number 3 with their quality of cut with mulching and bagging. The twin blade cutting system sliced up turf better than grandma carving the Thanksgiving turkey. Sorry, grandma. And between the deck and the blades, you got one superior cut. Plus, they also had some of the best drive systems in the mower market. Now, Honda's price points put them at this prosumer level. Not exactly commercial grade, but not on the cheap end either. Reaching from about $600 for their HRN models, all the way up to about $1,400, give or take, for their higher end HRX models. Aside from their commercial line, Honda really set the bar for reliability and cut quality for these prosumer mowers. So anything replacing these Honda mowers needs to deliver on those same qualities. Now that we know what to look for in a decent mower, I'm gonna break this down into 3 simple price categories. Mowers under $500, mowers $500 to $1,500. Again, that's where our prosumer level is going to be, and then $1,500 plus. And that's where we're gonna find commercial grade walk-behind mowers. The mowers under $500 here, I'm not really gonna spend a lot of time on. And if you were looking for a Honda lawnmower, you probably weren't looking at this price point anyways. Generally speaking, these mowers will get the job done, but they're cheaply made. They're usually designed for smaller lawns, usually have the weakest engines, more flimsy plastic components in areas where they shouldn't be, and decks that kind of look like this. This very round punch bowl design. Plastic on the ends, metal in the middle, which in my experience will rot out pretty quick. They usually don't have many features, and you can usually find them made by many different brands. And I'm gonna go out on a pretty sturdy limb here and say that they're probably all manufactured in the same factory. Then they just paint them a different color and slap a different brand sticker on them. The more closely you start to look at all these mowers, the more they begin to all look the same. These will include brands from Toro, MTD, Craftsman, Yard Machines, Cub Cadet, and some newer brands in the market like DeWalt. DeWalt? Yeah, they really need to just stick with what they're good at, power tools. You also get a lot of Chinese brands in this category that will be difficult to find parts for down the road. Now, the $500 to $1,500 price point, where many are looking right now, but not seeing a lot of good options available. The selection's kind of limited here, and these mowers are designed for medium to larger lawns. Now, I'll briefly mention these brands and mowers in no particular order, and if I have a review on it, I'll link it down below in the description. One mower I reviewed last year was the Echo LM2119 SP. This mower is just over $500. It's a decent mower with a decent deck design, a dual blade system underneath, but what grinds my gears with these mowers are the Briggs & Stratton 190cc engines, which are on many mowers in this category. They drink gas, and surging is a common problem with these engines, like every turn you make. Now, I didn't have that issue on the Echo, but I did have that issue on the Ariens Razor. Now, I'm a big fan of Ariens, and they make some fantastic equipment, but they really drop the ball with the Ariens Razor and need to take it back to the drawing board. It has a deeper deck for mulching and a reflex drive system, which is similar to the Toro Personal Pace, dual cutting blades up underneath. But as we're seeing nowadays with a lot of products being outsourced to Mexico, you're probably not going to get something great in return. The 190cc Briggs & Stratton engine on that Aaron's Razor had all kinds of issues, surging on every turn, making all kinds of grinding noises, and that was straight out of the box. And the height adjusters, even after a recall, still failed to hold their height. Aaron's used to make some outstanding mowers in this category, but I don't know what happened. I'll have the Aaron's Razor review linked below. Next up, Toro, with a few mowers in this price point. Let's start with their highest level Super Recycler. Great cut quality. Probably one of the best you're gonna find in this category. Aluminum deck, electric start, but that massive baby carriage personal pace handlebar system will give you issues backing up. It's a common problem with these. They have the 190cc engine up top, could be an issue, you never know. I'll have that review also linked below. And just below that, another Toro Super Recycler with a Briggs & Stratton 163cc engine. Minus the electric start and a few cc's, they're basically the same. I'm tempted to try this mower out just to see which version's better, but those smaller Briggs & Scrap'em engines, I don't know. And another Toro that I get a lot of questions about is the Recycler Max. 22-inch wide steel deck, personal pace, 163cc engine. It's a pretty lightweight mower at about 80 pounds. Will it have the same issues backing up with its personal pace like the Super Recyclers do? It's the same setup pretty much, but maybe it's a hidden gem in their lineup. It's worth a look, and I'm really tempted to buy this one and give it the review it deserves. Let me know down below in the comments, should I give the Recycler Max a go? Next up, the Cub Cadet SC900. 23-inch steel deck. That's an interesting size. 190cc Briggs & Stratton engine. Man, they put that engine on everything. Jeez. It's a 3-in-1 mower like many others. It's got the MySpeed drive system, which is kind of like the personal pace. And I'm really interested to see what the underside of that deck looks like. Now here's a big one, steel. They recently jumped into the game. There's a couple of mowers in this category worth looking at. The RM453T and V models. These are more homeowner models, as well as the RM655V and the RM655YS, which are 21-inch decks. Without a doubt, these are more prosumer models. Aluminum decks, ball bearing wheels, even a blade brake clutch on their higher end model. Not exactly sure how I feel about their single handlebar designs. Are they sturdy enough? And the laundry basket bagger on the back. Those are definitely some bizarre designs. I'm getting a lot of questions about these. This is another model that I'm leaning towards as well. Let me know down below if you think I should go for it. I'm tempted to get a couple of mowers this season. Next up, Husqvarna or Husqvarna. Wait, which is it?
Husqvarna.
There you have it. Not much here, but they have one commercial mower right at the top of this price point. It has an aluminum deck, a Kawasaki engine, which those are practically bulletproof. It has an engine guard up front and a really interesting design. But what grinds my gears is it's only a 20-inch mower. Kind of small, a lot of power for that little mower, but why wouldn't they go with a 21-inch deck? That's kind of the gold standard for many mower brands out there. And that's about all that's available at this price point, which makes it really difficult to decide what to go with. If there are other mowers in this price bracket that I'm missing, please mention them below. Please also keep in mind that if you mention a mower that's only available across the pond, that's not really helping us here in the US. So let's help each other out here. Now, if you are a true lawn mowing enthusiast and you are okay smashing that piggy bank and breaking in to your kid's college fund, then you'll probably want to go with a commercial grade mower. And they're typically built better with more features, and they last a really long time, matching most of what we saw in the Honda lineup. Now let's keep things in perspective here. The highest Honda HRX model was approximately $1,400, give or take. For $300 to $400 more, you can get into some really decent commercial mowers. They're built to last and they deliver some outstanding cut quality. For the price, they better, right? First in the category to mention are the Toro heavy duty commercial 21-inch walk-behind mowers. Rock solid aluminum decks. Top of the line, Kohler, Kawasaki, and yes, even Honda. engines are available. Just because they're done making mowers doesn't mean they're done making specific engines. Let's break a few of these down. Prices can vary on these depending on your dealer, availability, and so on. These are definitely not mowers you're gonna pick up at your local big box store. These are gonna be picked up at a dealer. Let's start with the Toro 22287. Kohler engine up top, dual bale design, recycler deck for a quality cut, strong transmissions, and from what I could find, prices are around $1,600. You gotta admit, that's not bad. Now the Toro 22298, a killer Kawasaki engine up top. That engine is designed to run for 10 hours a day, week after week, month after month, during the mowing season. I've seen a lot of landscapers running these in my neighborhood. You get a blade brake clutch, and they're going for right around $1,800 to $1,900. This is another mower that I've wanted to get my hands on for quite a while. And in my opinion, the cream of the crop, the top of the top, the Toro 22296 with a Honda engine up top. A Toro deck delivering supreme cut quality paired with a Honda engine that's practically invincible. It's like getting the best of both worlds. Drown that engine in the ocean, pull the cord, and it'll probably still start on the first pull. Guys and gals, that's an incredible engine. You may have to sell your car to get it, but it'll outlive you. I'm strongly considering the Toro 22298 with the Kawasaki, as well as the 22296 with the Honda. And both of these will be mowers that you'll have for the next 10, 15, 20 years and beyond. Now we can't talk about Toro commercial mowers without talking about Exmark. This is the sister brand of Toro. Very similar designs to the Toro commercial mowers. And just so we're clear here, Toro runs a mix of homeowner and commercial equipment. Exmark is only commercial equipment. All the mowers that you see in this Exmark lineup are going to be very similar to the Toros. Skag, they have the SFC 21 mower, and you can get it with either a Kohler or Kawasaki engine on it. Great mowers, super durable, another mower option that will last you. Another mower that caught my interest in recent years is Kubota. Kubota? Yeah, Kubota. They have a commercial grade 21-inch mower. It's kind of a sleeper model. Nobody really knows about it. And what's really interesting about this Kubota is it closely mimics the John Deere 14SB JX75 deck design. If you look closely, they're basically built right off that deck design. Super cool aluminum deck, Kawasaki engines up top. Kubota, you're singing my song. But these Kubota mowers come with a ton of question marks. I can't find any consistent pricing on these. I'm guessing around $1,500 to $1,700, but I could be wrong. Plus, when I contacted my local Kubota dealer, they didn't even know these 21-inch models existed. If the customer service reps don't know about them, they're kind of rare. I would love to test one out, and if anyone out there's got one, please let us know down below how you like it. That's a look at what's out there. Now, what is Honda doing from here? Well, they're dumping everything gas powered to go all in on battery. And these battery mowers are wildly expensive. Again, keeping things in perspective here, the gas HRN models were costing around $600. The new HRN battery models are costing around $900. That's their base battery mower, and it only runs for about 30 to 45 minutes. And keep in mind, that's under ideal conditions. That's a lot of money for a little time. You gotta admit, that's pretty lame. And additional batteries will run you anywhere from $430 to $600. One battery costs the same as the original gas HRN model. Now my lawn takes about an hour to cut, so that means I would definitely need 2 batteries. So instead of paying about $600 for a mower, I'm now up to about $1,500, give or take. And that's now putting you in commercial grade mower price points, where you can get a really outstanding gas mower. And the new HRX battery models will easily push you into that $1,600 and $1,700 price point. That's a really expensive way to mow your lawn. And that's also how they keep you in their ecosystem. Rather than buying a cheaper gas mower and giving a little money a couple times a year to the gas pump, they keep you coming back every couple of years to buy a $600 battery, which, let's be honest, they're only gonna go up in price year after year. For that kind of money, I'd rather buy a high quality gas mower that will last me a really long time and make one purchase. But hey, it's your money. You do what you gotta do. Now, if you're looking for a quality used mower, I'll have some Honda mower reviews linked down below in the description, as well as some John Deere mower reviews that are definitely worth a look. If you want to be part of the tribe, subscribe. And for more cool garage gear content, click or tap the screen right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.